May we all continue to strive and live the response of Mary. Let it be done to me according to your will, O God. Today we celebrate the Assumption of Mary into heaven. Mary, as Jesus' mother and the person who is blessed among women and men, shares in the graces that Jesus gave us through his ministry, his life, his death, and resurrection. Mary's key role in the earthly life of her son Jesus demonstrates her desire to do what God asks of her. Today's solemnity celebrates the tradition held since apostolic times that Mary, at her dormition, which actually means sleeping, is placed in a tomb in Jerusalem. When some of the faithful go to the tomb after a few days of mourning, the tomb is empty. Before her body decomposes, Mary, in her body, has been taken up to heaven to be with her son, Jesus. Our first reading speaks about the woman who gives birth to a son, through whom salvation and power come into the world. We also hear that God has prepared a place for the woman. The account from the book of Revelation has linked Mary to the woman giving birth to the one who comes as the Savior. Both the woman and the child face opposition from the dragon. The dragon is a symbol of the Roman government and the demonic evil. Mary is also associated with the queen mentioned in our psalm today. Just as the queen takes her place beside the king in majesty and splendor, so Mary is taken to heaven to share in the glory of her son, Jesus. Just as the king in the psalm desires the presence of the queen at his side, so Jesus wants his mother to be with him, body and soul, in the glory of heaven. St. Paul, he writes to his readers in Corinth to inspire them about the glories of heaven. He mentions that Christ is gone as the first fruit of God. After him comes all those who belong to Christ. Obviously, Mary, his mother, is on the top of that list. Although the Gospels never speak about the events of Mary's Assumption, today's Assumption of the visitation of Mary and her cousin Elizabeth gives us a glimpse of Mary's specialness because she has said her fiat, let it be. The child within her womb is the Son of God. Even John the Baptist, the child within Elizabeth's womb, jumps for joy as he senses God's touching lives and the lives of those holy women as they meet. Mary responds to Elizabeth's greeting by praising God and God's action in her life with the beautiful canticle, the Magnificat. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God my Savior. The Assumption of Mary had been celebrated since apostolic times, but the doctrine of the Assumption of Mary was dogmatically defined by Pope Pius XII on November the 1st, 1950, in the Apostolic Constitution Munificentimos Deus, Magnificent God. He did this by exercising his papal infallibility. Only one of the two times in the history of the church, that the Pope has made an infallible statement. This second time that we're talking about right now is the Assumption. The Pope has exercised his power of infallibility only one other time in history in the church. That is when the Pope declared the Immaculate Conception of Mary, as dogmatically defined through the papal encyclica by Pope Pius IX, Infallibilis Deus, the infallible God, on December 8, 1854. Only twice. We believe that Mary's position as a mother of Jesus gives her the privilege of being the first to share fully, body and soul, in the glory of the reign of God with Jesus, her Son. The Assumption is a positive reminder for us. We will share in the glory of heaven with Jesus if we strive to be those who belong to Christ. We will one day experience the fullness of heaven with our recreated bodies and joyously celebrate with Him. This is our destiny if we follow Jesus and say, "Fiat, let it be," to what God asks of us. And echo Mary's words, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God, my Savior."